Hey, I'm outside right now by the pool, Chiang Mai, Thailand. I'm teaching English this morning. Have a few more classes to teach this afternoon. And I was writing in my journal this morning, and I have something that I really need to share with everybody. And this is all about TEFL certification courses. Now there's some things like English immersion. I'm just gonna jump right into it. Is English immersion, like 100% English immersion, is that really effective for the student and the teacher? And is it effective for everybody that's involved? From my experience, it's not at all. And I'm going to get into it. So if you see me looking down, if you see me trying to glance over here, I just wrote down some really good points. I'll put it into the description, and I'll just kind of have to just freestyle and free talk this. So number one is time. For example, like, as a teacher, you have a super amount of limited time. You have a very limited amount of time. So if you have a 25-minute lesson or a 1-hour lesson, or if you're teaching, in a classroom all day, still, your time is precious because you know that as a teacher out there. So if you spend minutes or many minutes, and this is not going to just be for one time, but it's going to be throughout the whole day or throughout the whole lesson, and you're trying to explain something through TPR or, body language or role play or word association, whatever, those are great, and those are aids. Those are teaching aids. But look, let's get real. If these kids are not native English speakers and their mom and dad don't speak English, and even if they do, this language is something new to them. Like, imagine if you're speaking Chinese. So here's my thing. I'm not a big fan of, even though I was taught that. At my certification course, we had the Chinese teacher come in, speak to us for 1 hour with no English, just Mandarin Chinese, and we were just like, what the heck is going on? And then it's like, yeah, that's what it feels like to be an English language learner, and that's what it feels like to be the student. And okay, yeah, it does. It's true. But let's get real on another level. Time. Let's get back to time. So you've wasted, or you spent all this time trying to explain to the student what this word is, helping them to understand, and let's say they don't get it. Now, the student is demotivated. Their esteem is low. And you as the teacher, which we're going to get into right now, number 2, energy. Your enthusiasm and your attitude as a teacher is everything, and it all stems from your source of energy. So like, whether you're teaching in a classroom all day, or if you're teaching 4 to 6 hours online, you got to keep up your energy level. So let's say that you wasted that time. I don't want to say wasted, but you took all that amount of time to try to explain to the student, and now you feel super frustrated. You guys know what I'm talking about. No matter what kind of a teacher you are, if you spend a lot of time and the student doesn't get something, it's like, oh my goodness. You've probably seen it on my last 2 videos. So patience, right? But patience is just patience. Like, there's got to be some fun learning. So instead of wasting that or using that time, if it's like one word or a phrase, and if you knew that in their native language, boom, you got a smile on the face from the student or students. You just strengthen the bond between you as a teacher and to the student in your whole classroom. And then on top of that, you showed something that most of the students are probably not going to see from other teachers. And it's something I've always tried to do along my journey, is to try to learn the language wherever I'm at, to really show not only respect, but to bring curiosity and to show people that, hey, not everybody from the West is just trying to speak English and run to countries and speak English and expect others to speak English. Oh, okay. That's one of my pet peeves. I really got to say that, because we as foreigners, we as teachers, we are in other people's countries. If people come to America or Canada or wherever, and they can't speak English, most people don't like it. Most people are like, oh gosh, like, where are they from, Okay, well, I don't want to get too far off topic. But anyway, number two, as I said, is energy. So you as a teacher, You've got to keep your energy up super high. You got to keep up your performance. So you are going to get tired. The students are not going to get tired, most likely. The students are going to run all day, and they're going to have energy all day. If you're teaching online, yeah, sometimes, they're going to be pretty worn out from homework or something like that, but you're the one that's going to be teaching class after class after class. They just got to go in there for 30 minutes or 1 hour or a few hours a day in the classroom, and then boom, they're out. You're the one that has to keep going out of it and back into it, out of it and back into it again. You're the one that's going to get run down on your energy levels. So with all that being said, let me get over here to the next one. What can you do? Of all the problems, okay, what can you do? I'm actually going to switch hands over here. The sun is super hot on my back right now, but it's all good. I got it like this. Here we go. So what can you do? Well, first of all, we need to take a look at TEFL courses and what they're preaching to people in their curriculum. As I said, I was taught, full English immersion. From what other people I'm learning on YouTube, they're also promoting full English immersion. And that's the old model. I'm just going to say it. That's an old way of thinking, to be like, you got to be 100% in this language and no native language in this classroom. Look, you got to think about, where does that ideology come from? That ideology doesn't just come from these TEFL organizations. It comes from the top down. It comes from above. Okay, so what is the above? It's all these, I'm not going to get into names or anything like that, but big name institutions, big companies, big organizations, these big conglomerates, they're the one making all these certification rules. They're the one creating all these CELTA and Delta and TEFL and TESOL and TESOL and all kinds of stuff. They can make up another certificate and say, oh, you can learn this one too and follow these rules and guidelines. Look, using a student's native language is going to be by far the most beneficial thing that you could do, not only in the classroom and with online teaching, but for your career. I'm telling you, if you don't learn their native language, whatever your audience, whomever you're working with, if you don't learn their native language, you're going to kiss away so many amazing financial opportunities. And not only just financial opportunities, but amazing relationships. Imagine for example, I'm developing a friendship with someone from Nepal, and I'm not expecting him to learn English or to know a lot of English, but to have someone from a different country speak your native language, that says a lot. Imagine you pull up in Beijing and all of a sudden you're speaking Mandarin, conversation, maybe fluently or something. Just imagine for a second. People are going to be like, whoa, where are you from? Where did you learn Chinese? Oh my gosh, how long have you been here? I'm like, I don't even live in China. I've just been listening to YouTube videos. And they're going to be like, what? Nah. So that's also something, again, in my certification course, which I'm going to have that as a mandatory requirement, is you're going to have to study some of the native language and you're going to be tested on some stuff. It's not going to be super difficult. It's going to be things that you can apply and things that you can learn and things that you can do. So why using a native language is effective? Let me get back into it. It shows, this is really important, it shows your true character as an educator who is motivated to always keep learning every day. Because for me, I'll just be real with everybody. I believe, that a teacher is supposed to be a leader, and leaders are adaptable. I've been reading some history books lately. And in all these amazing history books, you look at the times, you look at language, you look at communication, you look at written essays and letters and stuff like that, the way they had to communicate back in the day. And the people who were paid for, the people who were really important were ones who could go between English and French and Spanish and Latin and Portuguese and Dutch and Chinese. Imagine that, back in the days, if you could be a trader or you got paid to trade or whatever, you could speak multiple languages, you're going to be highly sought out. And that goes for still. It's the same thing today. I can't tell you, last summer when I, of course, hired a Chinese assistant. By the way, I do encourage you guys to at least take some classes in Chinese. You don't have to. I actually hired a Chinese assistant and was working with a Chinese assistant last summer for about 1 month internship, and then I paid her for 2 months. And that's when I really started the whole Chinese thing into my life, into what I'm doing, into live shows, into my descriptions, and just into everyday things, you know. And that just boosted my fans, boosted my following on Palfish. And it's not about that. Again, it comes back to the memory. It comes back to the experience. It comes back to the self-experimentation. Have we become so controlled and so inside the box that we're scared to experiment on ourselves and to do new things? You know, to do new things is a sign of intelligence. And everybody watching this channel right now probably are teachers. And I'm not harping on anybody. I'm harping on myself, and I'm harping on everybody else out there to try to get motivated to realize that, look, if it's one child or 2 kids or 50 kids, you got a great opportunity. Don't think about, oh, I have this responsibility. I got to be a leader teacher. No, just, you know, most kids these days, they don't even get to see mom and dad. Most of them. Most of the kids these days, no one even listens to them. Most these days, these kids don't even get to have fun. Homework, exams, tests, and just constant stuff. You have an opportunity just to be there, to show up for the kid. Listen to the kid. Be positive with the kid. Be encouraging to the kid. Do your best. And that's all that's really teaching is about. Is that if you could bring out something better in someone, like if I was going to open up a school and I was looking to hire teachers, who am I going to hire? I'm going to first watch the teachers and see how they can teach. And whoever can show the most improvement and get the best results in the most positive manner, that's who I'm going to hire. I don't care where they're from or if their TEFL course is accredited or how many hours it was. I'm just looking for performance and what you can do. And if you can continue to do that on a consistent basis, that's really it. So in conclusion, that's pretty much it. I really had to get that out into the air. Is, you know, write your stuff down. So pretty much that's my whole spiel right there. Is English immersion for me is not effective 100%. If you could use their language a little bit, their native language, you'll save time, you'll save energy, you'll create a bond, you'll get a smile on the face, you'll get communication stronger with parents, and all that leads up to more financial opportunities for you and easier traveling opportunities for you. Because if you go to their country and travel and they meet you at the airport and they pick you up and take you to the hotel, which I've done many times, that's really a good feeling. And I hope that everyone out there could experience that. So anyway, that's it for today. It's a beautiful, beautiful day out here in Thailand. Make sure you go out and get some fresh air in between all those teaching. And if you have any questions about my TEFL course, let me know below. I'm going to launch it next month. It's $300. It's nothing like you've ever seen before. It's all self-development. I'm not going to bore you to death with module after module. I'm not doing that. It's all going to be about you. And then I step in and make sure that you're ready and prepared to be a teacher. So please subscribe below. Everyone who's already subscribed, I appreciate it so much. And what do you think? Do you think English immersion works? Let me know. Share your opinion. Let me know why or why not. Have a great day, guys. Adios, amigos.